Hello. Hello. Okay, I don't know why my background is fuzzy, but it's okay. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna let a few people get in here. And it looks different today. Did they do something to it? I don't know. We don't know. Anyway, I am going to do day two of our lives of steps to unlock your voice. Hey Maurice, my brother, my twin. So yeah, I'm gonna do day two of ways to to unlock your voice. Right today, we're actually going to be talking about defeating creative blocks. And my Miss Panama, hey girlfriend, and I'm going to give you not only a few ways to overcome creative blocks, which probably are very obvious, but I'm also going to give you my framework on how I deal with the creative process with my clients. All right. So I'm dropping some gems. I'm going to give you some resources, some tools to use too, that you can utilize in your own business. All right. This is for the free 99, and you'll have an opportunity to begin to implement some of the things that I give you today, hopefully. Right. And if you do, let me know, tag me, DM me. I pray it helps. So I'm also on Facebook. I decided to go live on. Actually, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So listen, I'm doing it up right now, right? And so yeah, I want to give a few more people the opportunity to get in here, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Listen, I tried to set this at a hard 30 minutes because I will give up my entire life if I don't. So I do want to go ahead and get started. All right. So one of the biggest things that if you came in yesterday, I did post my live from yesterday that we talked about. Most people that come to me for that they deal with is they struggle with where to start. They don't know where they get started, right? And so in knowing where to get started, we talked about yesterday some of the hindrances that you might deal with: mind battles, comparison, overthinking, all those things. You may even deal with self sabotage and just feeling inadequate and those types of things, right? So those might be some of the hindrances that stop you from getting started in being able to be creative, right? And if you can't understand your identity, you can't understand what it is that you have because you're dealing with all those different issues, and it's hard to really maintain a consistent level of being creative. All right, but let's talk about the other thing. Yes, it is tough, all right? Because sometimes it's hard. You have all these amazing ideas, but sometimes it's hard to get these ideas out of your head and begin to execute, into the execution phase, because you're like, man, I have no strategy. I have no framework. I have no accountability. I'm all over the place, man. I'm being tossed aside by the waves of the creativity, the creative winds, and I don't know what to do. And so today, hopefully what I give you will help with that. And so let's just get started, right? So we talked about the hindrances yesterday. Now let's just get into some of the creative flow. So if you don't deal with any of those hindrances, or maybe some of you do deal with a few of them, how do you begin to work through? Hey, I have something in me and I don't know how to get it out. All right. So let's talk about, for one, hey Keisha, happy birthday. Thank you for joining me on your beautiful birthday. All right. So number one, when I tell clients, I'm helping clients with getting out what's on the inside of them, right? One, we talked about this yesterday. Yeah, fighting on creative wins. Wondering exactly who is it that your audience is, right? Hey, Austin, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. We're talking about some overcoming some creative roadblocks to kind of really get into this consistent level of being creative. You're gonna figure out who your audience is, right? Who do you help? What is the solution that you provide, right? Because if you don't know who that is, it's going to be pretty hard to maintain a level of creativity because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't even know what the problem is that you solve. So what is the definitive problem that you solve, right? And for some people, you might solve several problems, but I'm going to always tell you to focus on the one first. Focus on the one that you know is the biggest burden, and that burden is always going to be something that may make you toss and turn at night. And I don't want to forget Facebook over and YouTube over here. So let me focus over here too. That major, hey Marcus, you don't want to forget about that major thing that burdens your heart at night, that thing that makes you toss and turn. So that's always going to be your number one, that thing that that you're locked on. It's going to be that passion thing, that thing that is your expertise. Is going to be also that thing that may be also something, your story. It's going to be a part of your story. And so that might be the first place that you want to start with, because that thing like the back of your hand. Those other things you can add on, and you can use the same creative process. So what is it that you have? What is the foundation of what your why is, what's the foundation of what the solution is that you solve. There you can find the people that you serve. Okay, that's number one of overcoming a roadblock, the creative roadblock, because now you have creativity, and when you have, now you have clarity, and when you have clarity, ultimately you can have the confidence to move forward and being able, hey G, and being able to move forward and being creative. All right. And so then you know who you serve, you know, now you know who you serve, you know what you why your what your why is, you know the solution. How do you begin to get it out, right? And so here's my number one way of beginning the creative process, right? I'm a series girl. All right. I take everything in series form. Write down your take whatever your niche is, whatever it is that you talk about, whatever, if you're a speaker, what is that list of 5 topics or 5 speaker subjects that if somebody came to you today, you would talk about, and you would talk about easy. Write down five things that you would talk about. Then take those 5 things and then begin to break them down. I'm honestly giving you 5 things, but I really actually, when I'm in my coaching sessions, I tell them 20. Okay. But I like to talk about the speaker because people ultimately, that's where everybody wants to be, right? People want to be on a stage somewhere. All right. People want to be on a stage. So if people came to you and they said, what do you talk about? What do you teach about? What are 5 things that you know that you can talk about like the back of your hand? All right. That's one. Like I said, it can be 20, because if you have a niche, you can turn that niche into 20 different things easily if it's something that you know and you know well. All right. So take those either 5 things or those 20 things and begin to break it down in series. So you might say, you might say, hey, this week it's the creative series. I'm talking about creative. Hey, Melissa, this week you might be saying this is the creative series. All right. And within that series, within that title, that is the umbrella, all right, of the series. Within that title, you're going to begin to break that title down. So what issues do I struggle with? So you want to, once again, this goes back to solution. You don't want to just begin to talk about all these things. What is the solution that you know that you solve? Because that is ultimately going to be the pain point that people can begin to identify with, because you're going to be giving these pain points and they're like, oh, that's me. Oh, I struggle with that, with my confidence. So for me, I might say, with your confidence, do you struggle with wardrobe? And is that the issue why you can't step on camera? All right. So that's going to be something that I'm going to talk about. Or maybe with confidence, I don't know how to speak to people. I don't know how to, I really don't know how to have this high level professional, voice and tone and cadence. I don't know what to do. Or maybe even with confidence live, I don't know how to create confidently. I don't know, because I don't know what it is I do. I know there's something on the inside. And that's where I started back in 2016. I was sitting at my desk and I was telling people that I had something inside of me. The guy said that there was more and I didn't know what it was. Right. But I wasn't as bold as I am. Right. I was confident to walk in it, but it was all over the place. It was all over the place because I had no idea what it was. Right. And so take some of these things as pitfalls of a person who was like just going out. All right. And so you want to begin to series those things out, break them down in topics, because now it's going to be easier for you to develop content around those different series. And so one of my biggest things in beginning to help you move out into this level of creativity is utilizing your voice. I always talk about amplifying your voice, right? And so you're going to begin to develop content around these series. So part of that is the content strategy is developing day-to-day content. All right, that's your day-to-day things you talk about, things, shareable content, shareable graphics. Hey, Lydia, shareable content that you're going to be sharing every day that people can share, they can comment on, they can engage with. It might be a listicle. It might be, hey, here's a tip. It might be a quote that just snatched my edges. Make sure you're consistent with that. And make sure if there's a day that you feel like you don't have it, because there's going to be days, today I almost didn't have it, right? If there's a day that you feel like you don't have it, make sure that you begin to bulk create. How do you bulk create? I always take clients through Canva. I'm a live and die hard Canva fan. Why? Because Canva has so many resources. Did you know that you can go in Canva and like literally type in a topic and it'll bring up content that's already created for you? I bet you didn't know that, right? It's content that's already created for you. You might say, I'm a beauty person. I talk about beauty. Okay, well, go in there and type in beauty. And I bet you're going to have 100, 200 plus graphics that's already pre-created for you. Star it. When you go in to begin to curate, you start everything that talks about it, or you start something that looks like your brand, and then you begin to save those things, and then you take them out and put them all in one frame of Canva, and then you begin to curate content. You can curate about 3 months if you do this framework of creating series, and you begin to snatch those things up. Yes, huge Canva fan. You will be able to create about 3 months worth of content in one time. I promise you. I kid you not. I've seen it done. I've done it. I've implemented it and it works. All right. And so you begin to do that. That will help you overcome a creative roadblock. All right. So now you're talking about series, creative series, and then you're talking about developing day-to-day content. Now, how do you get to the place of creating day-to-day content and saying, okay, I got this content, but this content ain't really doing it for me. Okay, this content ain't paying me. I need to be paid. So now you have your content, you have your creative series, go live. Do your lives. Do your lives based on those 5 or those 20 topics that you have created. What that will allow you to do is now to snatch. All right. Oh, somebody's calling me. Sorry, y'all. I thought I put on my do not disturb. My bad. Now you begin to snatch. Uh-oh. There we go. Now you begin to snatch from that live or that long live. And I always say, do a long live, do a maybe a 15-minute video, something very similar to this, or you do maybe some short series videos, maybe 5-minute videos, and then you begin to snatch content from that. Another way to do that is to also develop a foundational content, something like a podcast. If you do a podcast series, then now you already have your series your series developed out, and then you can begin to snatch content from that. Ultimately, while you are overcoming this creative block, the one thing that you're trying to do in the process of this is you are trying to create yourself as a subject matter expert. You're trying to position yourself as a thought leader, as a person that somebody begins to respect, as someone that they can, if they have an issue based on those pain points, they can come back to your page at any time and say, man, I know this person gonna know. I know Lydia gonna know. I know Maurice is gonna know. I know they're gonna know how to solve this problem because now they become familiar with you. And typically, y'all, if I'm all over the place, let me know. I just know this stuff so well. It kind of flows out. Typically, it takes you about 90 days, right, to begin to get in front of an audience and them to get familiar with you enough to begin to buy from you. And so that day-to-day content is going to be imperative for you, one, not only overcoming that creative roadblock, but you gaining consistency. And as you're gaining consistency, it's going to be something that you know is like second nature to you. It won't be an issue. You can post something like that, and now you're like, okay, I'm defeating this every day. Where once I was struggling to figure out, I've now created series, I've created day-to-day content, I've created a foundational form of content that I can take and snatch content from, like the quotes or the listicles, or even I can recap. I love to tell people to recap their videos. And if you go on Canva, you can pop it in some cute like phone mock-up. And really essentially all you would do with that is just screen record and then pop that thing up in a video, and then you can recap it like you would recap any, a podcast or a video, something like that, and then use that as a form of content. Now, how do you get to the overcoming the roadblocks to the point that now you're selling? All right. So this is the other aspect of me helping provide these resources. We talked about Canva as a resource. Now that you've been in the game, you've developed this level of consistency. You're overcoming these roadblocks, right? In creative development. Now you're going to begin to take those series and you're going to turn them into ebooks. All right. I like to call it multi-tiered servicing, right? And so if you say, hey, I want to start getting paid for this information, I know, cool. Instagram and Reels is amazing. You may get to the point where you can start getting paid for your Reels. That might take a little time because it takes you got to have 10,000 followers in order to do that. Or if on YouTube, on Facebook, I don't think you need 10,000 followers, but you just need a level of consistency in developing Reels before they offer that feature to you. And so now you're going to take those series and you're going to turn them into ebooks. All right. And so people are very comfortable with you now that you've gotten this level of creativity flow. People are going to get very comfortable with you. And if you're like, man, I can't figure out what else to do, this is the format of developing or monetizing that creativity that you've now unlocked, right? So you've taken those tiered levels or those different series, you've turned them into ebooks, and then from there, you don't have to try to figure out what else to do, because now you take that tiered service, which you're starting off as an ebook. This is the first level that people are really comfortable at buying from you. You're going to sell an ebook for about $14 or $9.99 up to $19.99, right? Depending on how long it is and what the focus is. You're going to sell that, and then you're going to turn that into a webinar. All right. Turn it into a webinar, because now people say, oh man, she's on her game. You don't have to keep thinking, man, what do I do next? What do I do next? Just tear it out. You got your series tier, your content tiered in series. take the series, the tiered series, and turn it into an ebook. Take the ebook and turn it into a webinar. And then from there, you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do a challenge. I'm going to do a 5-day challenge because people know that this is what I do. I'm teaching people how to get up on stages, and they need to understand how to do this. All right, cool. Because I'm a speaker specialist at this point. This might be what your niche is. I teach people how to speak, and I help them get on stages in front of major audiences, right? And so now you've got your ebook, you've done your webinar. Now you do a challenge, a 5-day challenge on how to begin to speak. You teach them speaking cadence. You teach them how to articulate to their audience or whatever else. I'm not really a speaker specialist for real. That ain't me. So I don't know the languaging, but that might be something that you do. Thank you, man. Lydia, you just helpful everywhere you be. I promise you. I just love me some Lydia. And so then after that, you say, okay, how else can I monetize that? That webinar or that challenge, either it might be a free thing that you're now leading to a bigger level item, which might be a greater tier item, such as a course. All right. So you might charge for that challenge, or you might say, hey, sign up for this challenge, and then you can enter into a group. Okay. This is always of overcoming. If you didn't know what to do next, this is a great place to start, right? So now you're saying, enter this challenge, and I want to get you into this exclusive group. And from this exclusive group, I'm going to begin to train you. All right. And from here, guess what? Y'all ain't going to stop here. I'm going to offer another service that is outside of this. That service might be a group coaching, or it might be a course. These are more higher ticket products, right? And so this particular product or service might start at, I ain't even gonna say $199, because honestly, that is an insult to many of you. Okay, that might be how much you charge for one webinar. But at the end of the day, be comfortable with it. Pray about it. What is God saying? What is your spirit saying about the level of knowledge that you have? It's always going to be a starting rate, but then there's also going to be a finishing rate too, because today's price ain't tomorrow's prices. Amen. All right. And so you're going to do that challenge. You're going to get your group popping off. It might be a membership group that you're doing. Hey, if you want more tips like this, sign up for this membership group. $38 a month per person. I'm going to drop a video in here every week. I'm going to take some live questions. I'm going to give you an assignment. I might do a one-on-one with you. All right. Or you're turning it into a course. And then from there, people are automatically going to want to sit with you, right? It really doesn't matter at what level that you are, because people sometimes don't necessarily know the level you started at. If you know what you're talking about, I can guarantee you people are going to reach out and say, hey, can I sit with you? Can you do a one-on-one with me? And so while you may start out at a one-on-one, at whatever phase you're in, then you may also go to coaching, private coaching. Private coaching could be, some people charge $9.97. I've charged upward a little bit more higher than that. It just depends on what I'm actually offering or what the need is in that particular coaching. Or you might say, we're going to do a group coaching. It depends on that group coaching. Some people go lower, some people go higher, some people charge per month. Some people say, hey, this is the price, and you're going to pay all of this at one time. It's a matter of what you want to do. But this is the flow. All right. Hi, Define Nicole. This is just really typically the flow that will help you overcome those creative roadblocks. If you don't understand how to create the content, if you don't understand how to navigate into now selling your knowledge, because all your knowledge is profitable. And the one thing I feel like people struggle with the most is charging. People struggle with charging because, especially as kingdom people, we be always just trying to serve everybody. But, if you don't have no money, how are you going to push the agenda of the kingdom together? If you don't have any money? If you don't have any money, how are you going to give and sow if you don't have no money? And God has placed something on the inside of you that he has said, look, package this thing up. Sell this thing. You have a great knowledge. You're a great source of wisdom that I'm giving to you for somebody that's going to be a resource to somebody else. It's going to be a solution to somebody else. So package it up. Don't be afraid to sell what you offer. Now, if it's ministry or something, and there's some fine lines to that, right? Because honestly, I always tell prophets, I said in the prophetic community, prophets really just translate to coaches and consultants. And so, you might have some insight for somebody, but you're in the marketplace, you're a consultant, or you are a counselor, or you're a coach. And so there's a fine line with that, right? Thank you so much, Austin. I appreciate that. There's a fine line with that, right? And so that is how you would begin. Did I hit my 30? I might have got this all out in 20 minutes. Let's see. There's a fine line with that, but there are different ways. Even in ministry, you could sell devotionals, right? You might, for your time, you might have a mentorship program or something like that you want to step into. There are definitely ways to do it. And this honestly still works in the ministry aspect. I mean, think about people like Ryan Lestrange. He has a whole academy of ebooks and courses, right? Because at the end of the day, he's not necessarily selling the word of God. He's selling his time. And so I want you to think about it like that. You're selling your time. Amen. You're selling your time, and your time is valuable. Yes, value is worth the cost. Absolutely. People will pay for what they value. That is absolutely true. And let me tell you this, if you value you, then you won't have a problem with people valuing you as well. And that's what we talked about yesterday. Identity is one of the things people come to me with. I don't know where to start, but really I find they struggle with their identity, their worth, their value, and those other aspects of mind battles, comparison, and overthinking and inadequacy and all those things. I'm like, man, sis, do you know how amazing you are? And these are things I had to tell myself. I had to tell myself it takes a lot to step out. It takes a lot to step out, but let me encourage you today. Ooh, there goes Selena. Hey, Selena, what is your time worth? Absolutely. What is your time worth? But it takes a lot to actually step out and say, I'm an expert. I know this. It takes a lot to do that. But I'm going to tell you this, the more you begin to practice it, the more you begin to exercise that muscle of value, that value muscle, the more you feel comfortable putting yourself out there, the more you feel comfortable and confident and beginning to use your voice, the more comfortable you feel at selling what you have. Man, Selena, you're going to have to watch this back, because I dropped so many gems, and I know you're going to be able to use them, because we already know that God is doing some amazing things within you. Personal development. Absolutely, Lydia. So you really, when as you begin to exercise that muscle, I've been ignoring Facebook over here, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. The more you begin to exercise that muscle, the more you'll be comfortable with selling the value that God has placed on the inside of you. All right. And so I hope that encourages you. This is On Time. I woke up this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. The Lord keep bringing up the idea of consulting. Listen, let me just tell you this, Marcus. One thing I know that the God is doing in this season is dropping ideas. All right. I've been frustrated for the last few days, because I'm like, God, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't understand what's going on. I feel like my brook has been dried up. What is going on? And a lot of times it is dried up. Why? Because he's saying there's something else that I need you to touch. And right now, this is a very imperative time. I ain't trying to prophesy, but that he's releasing ideas. And so we just have to be open to what he's releasing, and just be confident that he is a provider, that he will give that provision. He'll give it to us. And so listen, if God is giving you an idea, Marcus, amen, Lydia, Selena, and whomever else is watching, if he's giving you an idea, then know that he's going to give you the provision. I always say, if it's his will, it's his bill. All right. He will give you the provision for it. And so don't be discouraged in this season where you're starting to be like, man, I feel like there's a tugging all over the place. Just trust God. Trust God. So I pray that this is helpful, man. I stayed under my 30 minutes. I am so proud of myself. I'm proud of myself, and I'm thankful that I showed up, and I thank you that y'all showed up for me. I don't know that I will be actually leaving this up, because this was actually way too good. I'm gonna leave it up. I'll post it back later for you, because I pray that this helps you. I pray that I've dropped some gems and giving you some kind of insight on how you can be creative on, so that you don't have to overthink it. All right. So you have, okay. I don't know where to start. Oh, you know what? There was one more thing I did not give you. I forgot. For those who don't have websites, right? One of the things and resources that I use if you're looking to sell products is Gumroad. Gumroad is an amazing place. It's free. They do take their profit. Just God didn't design you to you the same as that's right, Lydia. That's so right. We're all part of a body that is significant in the way that God uses us. There's no insignificant part. I think you were talking about that this morning, actually, and I was like really half asleep, but I was listening. Like, yes, Lydia, you get it. See, I was listening. It's we all have a significant part, that God has tailored us for, and there's nothing insignificant, but it's all usable. I remember him showing me the fingernail and looking up how the fingernail, this your second close. Well, I am my prophet's daughter. Amen. Gumroad. Yep, Lydia. Gumroad is an amazing place you can sell courses. And this is the other thing. People are they're set on being perfect. They are so set on being perfect. One of my first courses, I recorded right in here. It was low key blurry, but it's sold multiple times, and it still helping. I got so many good reviews on it. It was actually about Canva. So if you're shameless plug, if you're still trying to figure out exactly how to use Canva, I do have a Canva course. It's called Reclaiming Your Time with Canva, because I break down some really major points on how to use Canva the right way. It's not really a wrong way, but I can guarantee you, I tell you and show you some ways to really use it that's going to help you and save you tons of time. And so, yes, Gumroad is an amazing place that you can sell courses. You can sell memberships. You can sell ebooks. You can also sell physical products as well. You can also sign up, do subscription memberships as well. So Gumroad is a major place. You know, some of you who's looking to do courses. Get right on. You know, you don't have to do all those Udemy's and pay all those things. I'm avid. I'm really avid about not paying a whole bunch of things if you ain't made no money. You ain't made no money. Don't buy no Kajabi because a Kajabi is $199 a month. Don't pay for all those places that you have to store videos on. Just literally, hey Facebook, I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm sorry. I just got a whole bunch of love over here on Instagram. But I pray that this is helping you as well. You're welcome. You're so welcome. So yeah, don't, if you have information, if you're trying to do courses, jump right on Zoom. Jump on Zoom. Just make sure you got your lighting. Make sure that you have a decent background. Make sure that you have a good Wi-Fi connection, because otherwise it's going to be a little fuzzy. Like mine's right now is a little bit fuzzy, but make sure you just go on Zoom. Go on Zoom, download it from Zoom, and then pop that thing up in Gumroad. You have a course. That's a course. It does not have to be, yes, keep the overhead low. I'm all about it. Keep the overhead low. Save some time. Don't be perfect. At the end of the day, people are really just need your solution. They don't need your perfection. They need your solution. All right, because that solution is going to get somebody to their next, and it's going to one of the things I'm all about. Hey, Dory. Hey, on Slaters. One thing that I'm all about is the snowball effect, because when you decide to make a decision to walk in your call and the things that God has told you to do, it gives somebody else access. It activates somebody else to move in the things that they've been called to do as well. And so that you have something that's going to unlock something somebody else has. And so they need that. However, whatever form that you feel confident to do, whether you're doing it in a podcast, whether you're doing it in an ebook, whether you're doing it in a course, whether you're doing it in a webinar, whether you're doing it in an online event. And I'm getting ready to get into these online events, because I have multiple people say, I see you doing this online event. Okay, cool. Well, we about to get into it, right? However it is that you do it, somebody that's going to unlock a solution in somebody else, so that they can say, okay, I need to apply that solution to something that I needed to do. And now they're going to do it. And then they're going to unlock a solution in somebody else. It's a snowball effect. They don't need your perfection. Come on, Lydia. I just love Lydia, man. Y'all, Facebook, y'all got to be over here on Instagram. So yeah, so don't allow those things to stop you. Low overhead is where it's at. You want to do a course, pop on Zoom. You want to sell an ebook, hop yourself on. I have tons of ebook. Actually, here's the key. I have ebook templates, but if you go on Canva, I'm just giving y'all all the gems that if you go on Canva and look up lead magnet, look up lead magnet, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff that you can begin to use and sell. You're going to see freebies. You're going to see books. You're going to see ebooks. You're going to see like workbooks. Just look it up. I promise you, you're going to be like, your head going to be spinning. You can be, oh, I could create with this. I could do that. I could do this. Hey. And then boom, you got something to sell, right? And so then, oh, look at the love. And so go ahead and, do low overhead. Don't let that stop you. I love Canva too, Dory. Ebook, you can do the course. If you want to do an online event, just get the $14.99 Zoom, pay for that, set up your event through Eventbrite, and boom, send that straight to your Zoom, send your Zoom links out, all that stuff. That's your, what's the name? That is your webinar. And then you don't only stop there, you save that webinar. All right. Don't stop there. Save your webinar and sell it as a replay. All right. Maybe sell it, take it down for a little bit, sell it as a replay, because those people weren't there to ask the questions. But now you have this. Listen, y'all, there's a wealth of knowledge that y'all have. All right. And so if you thought, yes, thank you, Lydia. I love it. If I could hire you, ma'am, I would. And so yeah, there's a wealth of knowledge things. There is overhead. I mean, a little overhead. Don't go out here paying a whole bunch of money. Gumroad, Canva, Zoom. And the other aspect, if you don't have a website, I need to get out my head. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. If you go back in this video, I promise you, I've given so many topics and so many things that you can do to begin to just move. And you're already doing it. Really, Selena, you really already are doing it. At the end of the day, you're doing it. I think you just don't see how it's going to pay off yet, but you're doing it. You're doing it. Amen. I'm gonna leave it there. And the other thing, if you don't have a website, Znap. Znap is one of my favorite tools because it houses all your links. It's kind of like Linktree. But the fun part about it is that you can put these really cute pictures up, and you can not sell things, but you can even store your mailing list there. And it'll store and house. So you can store your Gumroad link. You can store your YouTube video. You can store all these amazing things in there, and people, can access that. to buy your products and to buy your services, right? You can even store your link if you have a Calendly. Honestly, Selena, for real, you should be doing one-on-ones at this point. You should be sitting down with people and doing one-on-ones if you are not already, and offering your 5 major topics so that people can hire you as a speaker. And you need a media kit too. Yeah, it's the Nap link. And it's a house. It's like $6 a month, but it's like milkshake. I've had milkshake before, but I actually like ZNAP better. ZNAP, if you actually go to my profile and link in Instagram, that's what that is, and you'll see kind of how I can use it to offer it, or how you can offer it, and how you can set it up pretty cool. But yeah, that's all I got. Oh, I hit 30 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. So yeah, I pray that this was helpful to y'all. Whoever's left on, Lisa, if you're still on Facebook, I see there's still somebody watching here. Thank you for showing up here. I hope that this helps. Go back, if you're just tuning in, make sure you go back and watch this. Hey, Gino, go back and watch this video. I'm giving y'all so many. Gino, go back and watch this for real. Go back and watch this, because you got so much information that you could be selling people online digitally that people need the solution for. So go back and watch this video when I post it. Yeah. So I hope the tips I gave y'all were practical. I hope that you feel like you can use it. Man, y'all have a wealth of knowledge in y'all that people are just waiting for. People are waiting for. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. That was like my 5th close. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for tuning in.